Not this one. Not redundant today. Just. So actually, I thought just me this time. And you'll all be happy with that. It's also a great Allison Fellows. And we just. And so we have the pleasure and the privilege of being the host for this evening's. You have to know that our involvement does not involve us singing, but instead it is. So I mean, I actually play trombone and trumpet. Should we get on our instruments? No. It's very true. Exactly. So, one of the things we want to do before we ask Cole to join us is just check in with everybody, right? And as we do that, we also want to make having to do with thank yous, right? So, first of all, I think that we should again thank the chef and the sous chef. And oh, by the way, the supervisor of both of them, who happens to be Monica Fellows. Also, really thanks to all of the sponsors that Aaron did a great job of announcing earlier today that I actually haven't seen the sponsor list. Isn't that terrible? I don't know actually who they are. But he did a great job. We wouldn't necessarily be here without a sponsor. So thank you to the sponsors for this 17th annual MTU and thank you for it. It's okay. Also, we want to thank all the presenters and all of our speed reminders that made sure that those that were doing the presenting were able to connect with those folks that were online. If anybody is online right now, it's awesome that you're still with us. Really appreciate that. And also, everybody was able to attend all of the events that occurred today. I know we had some awesome ones. As a matter of fact, Allison demanded. She demanded that we actually go around and ask you, what was, some of your favorite parts of today?
That is exactly what I was going to say. Okay, so does anybody want to share out what's going on with the night? What was your highlight of the day? Something you learned, something that resonated with you? I'm a teacher. I will put the microphone in your face. We will both tell you.
I'll get it started. First of all, I was only delayed in my duties once. And I did not get any new assignments today. I got to sit through Wilson. It was very hard to keep focused because my brain kept going in all kinds of directions about how I did some dumb things in my youth. It could have been much more effective knowing some of the things that he was sharing today. The Dimming 101 with Mr. Mike Beck, who is one of our senior planning team this year. So thank you, Mike, for stepping up to that about 15 months ago. Probably kind of a little less hair now after the last one. But I
found it quite informative, though I have read the new economics and had some giving courses. I really much better appreciation for what he did, and that we are building on this weekend.
Thanks, Gary. It's nice. Nobody does this is a fun one.
Another future.
Bill, this was your idea. It's Bill. He's gonna give it to him. He's gonna share. Oh, you can share?
Wow.
I want to say that also, Mike, I loved your presentation on Dunnings's history, and one of the wonderful things that came out of that was that he didn't really make his most profound contributions until he was in his 80s, which gives me a and also, thanks to wonderful Bill, just one that I was the first into his thinking, and I doubted it, didn't I? And he says, "Oh no, I have your signature on the original placard that signed into it." So that gives you a feeling for how long I've been associated off and on this program. So two great. I also enjoyed learning about how much Jim achieved before he got to that particularly profound contribution. And I enjoyed the after lunch presentation of the Millers and learning of their background as part of that process. Even though it was far upstairs. I'm not sure I was entirely successful. It wasn't the presentation, it was lunch. Okay, that's what it's more privileged.
I'm gonna hand it on to the man of not few words. I know. When we talk on the phone, I think you talked a little bit.
No, I was gonna say is, the very first influence that I mentioned, we had 160 people, the first time the team ever did anything, and we attended a lot of fun, we never organized one, it's like, wow. But and it was all recorded, because a bunch of us brought our, you know, video cameras from home, we set them up, 20 people on the stage, we have all the recordings, but then a week later, I was with Paul Cass and the Kids Flex at a high school production, and they're up on the balcony, videotaping something, and all the microphones were on stage, and I thought, what we could have done with something like this a week ago. And then when so I was telling the Kids Flex folks that our daughter was in the very first year of videotaping, and we had 210 people that year over at the Westlake Hyatt. And on Sunday morning, Tom Johnson was the opening keynote speaker, and Alice was about that far behind Monica and I, and she comes over and whispers, she says, "What is he talking about?" So, anyway, over 20-some years.
And then it becomes somebody. Should we pick up Jordan? Because if member of this week decided earlier today that this is the Deming cult. And because Jordan wasn't sure what to tell his friends about what he was doing this weekend, I said, hey, this is the Deming cult. You are now a member. So what did you tell your friends? You want to talk about your experience, Jordan? I haven't seen Jordan since he was, what, 6 months old?
Yeah, I remember all of it. It was just so fun. You guys talked for 2 hours about this one man. It was eye-opening, really. I guess like you call it the people.
Although I will say, I did take some notes during your session.
I did find it quite enjoyable. listen to that.
I'm gonna pick on one more person and then I wanna come back to the front, and you know it's gonna be.
Bunch of young people are still interested in these ideas or becoming interested, which I think is great because it's guys who get these ideas, we're going to give them all up. So next year, let's hope we get some more people here and have some more fun. Interesting ones. So that we wrote a book about what happened in Japan I never heard of. So we'll see. I also learned that no matter how long we do this, talk about it, we keep learning. As long as we keep learning, I think we'll be okay.
Nice. Bill, you never said what you learned today. Learned today. And with that, we will transition, we're gonna transition now into the entertainment portion of this, but of course, anything having to do with this forum is more than entertainment, right? I remember coming to a few of these Friday or Saturday evening events, and listening to improvisational jazz where you had musicians who had never ever played together, coming up with, playing written music for the very first time, and then jamming with each other with no music, just extraordinary kind of work. And I still remember that. That's the power of these kind of gatherings, is the memories, and not just the memories in terms of the, enjoying it kind of stuff, which is very important. That's important. But also the ability to apply it, right? At least for me. The remembering that you can take people, if they have the ability, they have the capacity to work as experts in their own field, and then to be brought together as teammates for a purpose, and to see what that brings. And we are the beneficiaries in many different ways, whether it's music, whether it's the organizations that are involved with software engineering, for example, or with putting rockets into space, right? Or in my case, trying to make sure that our bureaucracy at a local government is as tight a bureaucracy as it could be. These are all possibilities. These are all the kinds of things that this kind of gathering and this kind of event brings to us. So there's another question that I'm going to ask, but before I do that, I'm going to tell you that most of you know that my wife Deborah and I live in Hawaii. Been living there since 2012, right? And so I've come to most of the forums since that time wearing the appropriate attire, an aloha shirt, as opposed to some silly soccer. Yeah, I do believe that that was like among the official wear for the forum, but I think I have added. Yes, that is production time. So, but this particular shirt is a Beach Boys aloha shirt. So I'm wearing this in honor of Brian Wilson. And in his memory, because we all know that the genius that was Brian Wilson and the harmonies that were the Beach Boys and are the Beach Boys are part of the culture here. And so hopefully that, in terms of, I know that that's not exactly what you're going to be playing, but I also know that it permeates everything that is part of the music scene. So it is a pleasure. Cole, why don't you come up here? So it's our pleasure to introduce Cole Cuomo as our musician, singer, artiste gravitas, for the evening. And part of the question here is, there's always a question, right? Because questions is how we learn. And sometimes it's the asking the questions, not necessarily the answering, but we're also gonna. So the question is, where does music live? Or where does music exist? Right? And so, Tim, do you have an answer for that for you?
Just love the question word that I had never thought. It's there, it comes out. It's out in different people in different ways. Where does it come from?
Yeah. This is Bradbury.
I think it lives on memory. It triggers so much. Songs can mean so many different things. It can be something different every decade of your life, and then you're driving along and you hear a song, you're like, that's what those lyrics are. We're gonna hear them and singing something different.
Please.
Lives in our connection to nature. It's almost a minute. Walk on here.
Language.
That is a living.
Yeah, that's true.
Vinyl comes out.
Nice. Well, you're having this private conversation, but they're not about to, because we're all one big happy family. So where is music?
Actually, about the music, the language of love, romantic side for sure.
There it is.
Sing from the Heart is the dun, which also is Shakespeare music as well. But I'm an English teacher, I teach Hamlet every year, so Shakespeare is like the most obvious thing for me. It's like a musical way to speak in the verse, but it comes from the heartbeat. So I think of that. I also think of protests. There's music in protests as well. Every protest has a chant, and so I think of that too.
And so, yes, please.
For me, music has always been a matter of passion or pain. And just to put things in a light, I've always been a huge heavy metal fan. To me, it's really a matter of, does it touch you where you can feel it? Does it touch you where your pain is? Does it touch you where your love is? Does it touch you where you're angry or where you're passionate? So.
And so, if we're okay, our last answer from this, it won't be the last answer. It will be the last answer in preparation for this. And I told Tobin I can, but we're not going to go. It matters to Cole, obviously, but I think what matters to us is that we're going to have this connection made. And I know that Cole's going to make that connection. And as a result, I'm going to get off the stage and provide the stage to Cole, and we're going to do your thing now.
Hello.
Yeah.
Test, test. All right. I'm loud, so let me know if it's too much. I can throw all these electronics away. I wanna live. I wanna live. I'm searching for it's friendship. Keep searching for a heart of gold. Keep searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. Been the heart, I've been the river, I crossed the ocean. I've been in my line, it's such a fine line. Searching for a heart of gold. Searching for a heart of gold. I'm getting old. Keeps me searching for a heart of gold. Keeps me searching and growing old. Keeps me searching for a heart of gold. For a heart of gold. Thank you so much. I want to blow everybody's eardrums. Keep letting me know if it's getting crazy. Yeah, my name is Cole Cuomo. That was Heart of Gold by Neil Young. I wanted to open with that song in relationship to the question that was asked. Bill reached out to me a week or so ago and asked if there was any thoughts or any sort of question that might contribute to the conversation. And immediately that question, where does music live, came to my mind. That question is not mine. It comes from the composer, American composer, Aaron Copland, who asked that question in the opening of his book, Music and Imagination. And he asked the question, where does, I think he uses Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, where does that live, you know? And he says, you might say it lives on the paper, you know, it lives, or maybe on a vinyl where it's recorded, where it's written down. And he says that answer is, you know, it's maybe a little bit there. It's not quite right, you know. If you read the notes on a piece of paper and look at an album cover, it's not quite the full experience. And he says maybe it exists in the performance, you know, in the air as you hear it. But that's not quite the full experience either. It doesn't quite answer why it is that when you hear a song, suddenly it makes you feel something. Nobody can really explain that. So maybe the performance isn't quite where it lives either. And his answer to the question is that it exists in the heart of the listener as you hear it, and you're suddenly affected in ways that are difficult to describe, maybe differently over your lifetime. And it's something internal, it's something that connects us, and something that's very unique and individual for every experience. So I wanted to start with Heart of Will to get the conversation going about the heart. I'm gonna play some American folk music here for you guys today, maybe throw in a couple of my own, and hope you enjoy. If you travel in the where the wind is heavy on the borderline, and look who lives there. She once was a true love of mine. You see her hair's hanging long, it rolls and flows all down. Against me and her hair's hanging long. That's the way I. And if you go, when you go, there is summer and each has oh, so long. But from the town. I'm wondering if she remembers it all. In times I've often prayed in the darkness of my brightness of my day. Oh, if we travel you're on the borderline. Remember she once was the tree of. That's a, I'm going to take us forward just a couple of decades.
So Cole, why American folk music?
That's a great question. So my background, I've always been, it's been a singer. I've had this low of a voice since I was about 11 years old, which was, not usually a terrible thing, but I was fortunate to find music pretty early in my life, and got to study it in college, which was fantastic. I studied opera, which is decidedly, in most instances, not a terribly American art form. Of course, though it does exist. There's great, terrific American operas. But I just never was able to really connect with it. I used to tell my professors, I would bring in maybe Brahms and Hammerstein songs or musical theater tunes like that, and they'd say, yeah, okay, how about this Mozart, or how about this Wagner, you got the opera voice, and I didn't really have a much better answer at the time than, I just like singing in English, and I just enjoy this. But even as a student, I really loved music history, and so I found myself searching for some American traditions. In the same way that opera, of course, has hundreds of years of history, generally in Europe. And I'd always been a fan of many of the songwriters I'll be singing for you today. People like Neil Young and Bob Dylan and James Taylor and Joni Mitchell and folks like that. It's now we call it dad rock, we call it now today. Not to offend anybody out there. But so when I came through school, I sort of realized that these traditions do exist. They may not be 400 or 500 years old, but there are songs that are generational and that have tremendous staying power and huge influence. I just got deeper and deeper into that study and found it incredibly rewarding. And then found other genres, that are even older, barely 100 years of recorded music history in the world. Music like bluegrass and traditional, country or like old time music that exists in America, a lot in the the southeast and on the East Coast. So once I found my way in to that studying those traditions, I haven't been able to think about or do anything else since then. So yeah, thank you I appreciate that. So yeah, if if you find yourself bored, just slightly close your eyes, just settle yourself down. I totally understand. This is a song a little bit after those 60s folkers. This is Talking Heads. Oh, turn around, you go, wonderfully hard, just come with me, having fun. Good sweet thing about it, as we go along, you come around, every this time. It's okay, I know nothing's wrong. The man, you got life, all in below, all in your time. There you go, time. Oh, but I guess I come on the other way. Get back in my feet, place. Now, I find you for you, my name. For you, Lord, so come on now. This is where I'll be. You got me. Oh, me, I'm just incredible. Looking for me. Yeah, hey. Nothing to tomorrow. No. Nothing. I don't hear you. Now comes the most exciting part of any performance with a stringed instrument. This is a 6-string special. This is called. This is a very old song. This is a sort of I don't want to call it a standard folk song, but this is an old traditional song from the British Isles. This is called Early in the Morning. Early morning, just as the sun was rising, I heard the singing. Oh, don't deceive me, oh, never leave me. How could you use a poor soul? How gay the garden and fresh are the roses I've called from the fire on my oh, don't deceive me, oh, never leave me. How could you use a poor soul? love that you gave to humanity. Everything that you vowed to be true. Oh, never leave me. I'll look for making so. The song, the poor maiden, her sorrows bewailing. The sun, the poor maiden, the valley below. Oh, don't deceive me, oh, never leave me. So poor maiden, so. Like to sing a few Jackson Brown songs. Okay, all right. Sounds great. I've been out walking, too much of talking these days. These days, these days I seem to think about all the things I forgot to do for you. And all the time I had a chance to. I think I'd risk it not these days. These days. Now if I see, be afraid to live the life. It's just that I've been so long. I keep on moving. Things are bound to be improving these days. One of these days. These days I sit on cornerstones, count the time in quarter tones to 10. Don't confront me with my failures. Forgotten them. It's fun. It's a little lesser known than that one, maybe, but I think it's really fantastic. I had the great privilege of seeing Jackson Brown, the Watkins family. If you ever find yourselves at the Largo Theater or over in La Brea in Los Angeles, a Griffin show, and got to see Jackson Brown there a number of months ago, and he played this song at relief for the fires, benefit for the people who got their homes destroyed in the fires. And it's a song about LA. I'm partial to our LA songwriters, and so I like this one quite a lot. This is called The Barricades of Heaven. The long ago, I was 16. Tell you what the hell goes on. I was just trying to hear our song. I'll sit down when he put arms. You don't get anything to play. The paradox, the Belgian war. Gentle. It is turning. Straight through the night, our hearts were born. Oh, you didn't make you come. Where I'm from. The shine from the hill. Stars above and the lights below. Understand fortunes in the well. I lost track of the score long ago. It was turning. They did me yesterday. Into the night, our hearts were gone. And when you childhood comes for me at night. Voices of my friend. You're dead. Oh, that Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I want to really thank Bill for asking me to be here tonight. I appreciate you all listening, and thank you again, Bill. I appreciate that. I'd like to play a song I wrote here. The song's called The Runner. I worked hard at all same people and good. I've done it. Lord, rolling all the taking time off the bed. Oh, I wake up every morning feeling better than nothing to it, I'm not stopping. Well, you're looking pretty good for someone down here. Like that car you pulled up in, but you never swear to fancy photo. And I heard you had to beg, and you're I've stolen fires, rolling time, just trying to get caught. And when I see my hell looking moving on. But don't you when I'm gone. I know I'm traveling on. But my love for life is long. Don't you shed a tear. Take your hand and running side by side, laughing boldly. At the end of the desert, bearing fruit, standing alone, sun in the stand. For too long, the flower falls, and all the southern you is it pain. And those sinning saviors bleeding from their wounds and trying to catch the rain. None will be humble away your pain. And not your charity. Oh, I'll be traveling on. Don't you shed a tear. started running years ago, and I ain't found one reason to slow down. I learned to face my demons, my own reflections run me out of town. I turned away from everyone, and place I it hurts to feel you have to search the world to find a place for settling. Why time is there? Oh, don't you don't accept you believe you well. Like this long, don't you shed a tear when I'm gone. Don't you shed a tear when I'm gone. If you want to, you can come along. This girl can stay with the dawn. Don't you shed a tear when I'm gone. This is the Tom Waits song called Downtown Train. Outside and the yellow, bunch of old midnight time, yes. I climbed the window down to the street. I'm shining like a diamond. Downtown trains of gold, all those Brooklyn girls. They try so hard to bring out the world. Keep waving your hand, they just scattering like a rose. There's nothing that'll ever catch your heart. There's just storms without the gold. Be careful in the dark. Oh, Lord, you chose to be your only one. Okay, you hear me now. I see you now. Oh, every night it's just the same. You open your window and always play. I know your stairs and your glory. I can't lie for way. You are something that can't fall. Baby, they're young with heart attacks. They stay at the carnival. They'll never win you back. All my dreams, all I made. Oh, baby, on the downtown train. But I see you tonight on a downtown train. Every night, everybody's just the same. On the downtown train, all my dreams they fall like rain. Baby, on the downtown train, on the downtown train, on the downtown train. Ooh. This next song is by one of the great songwriters of our time. Her name is Gillian Welch. And if you don't know her, I recommend listening to everything she's ever. It's really fantastic. It is the song called "Hard Times." There was a can't see you love that you loved him when they about now. I hear him singing to his beautiful couch. Oh, you sweet old girl, the whole damn world. You're gonna make it, yeah, down the road. Hard times ain't gonna rule my mind. Hard times ain't gonna rule my mind. Bessie, hard times ain't gonna rule my mind. No. Takes to be over, and you need we're sucking on tears, we're sucking on wine. We are in the heaven of all the sweet time. Come on, get the boy. Turn up your old time noise. It cracks in the floor. They hard to think. Hard times ain't gonna rule my heart. That king town man doesn't fly on no more. See him walking down the cigarette store. Seems he lost that night. He forgot his song. Woke up one morning and you was gone. I'm only a ragtime king. All you dogs that sing, pick up that steamboat horn and give it a blow. Oh, my heart, hard times we go. No. Thank you very much. Are we on time, Bill? Are we on time? I got a couple more.
You realize he just sung us through the song. 7:45.
Thank you. Oh, that's funny. I should have prepared the Beach Boys song. You're very, very right. That for those of us that grew up in Southern California, it's pretty much everything. We were in malls, Beach Boys that is. And when I was a kid, and that was my impression. It's always this background music. This is what you hear while you're chasing your mom down the grocery store aisle. And then, I was in my, late teens, early 20s when I really heard that music, I think, for the first time. And, of course, it's impossible to not be affected by it at the very, very.
Good vibrations, but.
Yeah, it's picking them up. All right, this is a newer song by the songwriter Sam Bean. Now it might be at 15, 20 years old, I have no idea. But it's a song that I grew up with. You might know his band name is Iron and Wine. This song off of his first record. It's called Upward Over the Mountain. We'll say that one for later. It's definitely apologies to Sam Bean. I'll think about it again. Johnny Cash. I hear that train line, it's rolling around the wind. I ain't seen the sunshine. Nothing cold and brilliant, and time keeps running. Always be a good boy, don't have a place to join. But you want to die. It's cozy. And probably drinking coffee. And walking with yard, I know I have coming. Well, changes my water and life, water fortune prison. That's where I wanna stay. Oh, you got that blood along some whistle. Oh,
You ever knew any Peter, Paul, and Mary and?
oh gosh. I used to play. I used to play lead on a jet. Down there, and then keep going. Keep going. Keep going. I don't think I remember much.
Here we go, you know.
All my bags are packed, ready to go. I'm standing here. I hate to wake you up, to say goodbye. It's early morning, taxi's late, he's blowing his horn. Already, I'm so lonesome, I could cry. So kiss me, smile for me, tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you never let me go. Don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. I lost the words again. Didn't prepare. I'm sorry. But thank you for that. I'll pick that one back up. I appreciate it. I'm sorry. What's that? I don't. I don't. It was just wasn't what I was found myself interested in. Found myself drawn to other genres and decided to stick with what I. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, well, I'll be back next year, go ahead and work.
Stay again.
Well, Mike, go back this year, if there's any place to work.
Okay, absolutely. I love working for free. We'll go back to Bob Dylan. It why you don't know back now. And I used to sit and wonder why it'll never do somehow. Windows close at the break of dawn. Look out your window, I'll be gone. You're traveling on. You don't think twice, it's alright. Ain't no use in calling out like you never done before. Ain't no use in calling out my name. Can't hear you anymore. Still, I wish that there was something you were saying. Try and make me change my mind. Stay. We never did that kind of talking anyway. Don't think twice, it's alright. Ain't no use in turning on your light, girl. The light I never know. Ain't no use in turning on your light. I'm on the dark side of the road. I was sitting there wondering, walking down that road. I once loved a woman, a child told. Given my heart, she wanted my soul. Don't think twice, it's alright. So long, can't tell. Goodbye is too good. So I'll just say fairly well. I ain't saying that you treated me unkind. Could have done better, but I don't mind. You just kind of wasted my precious time. Don't think twice, it's alright. You know I ain't a saint. Treated me unkind. You just kind of wasted my precious time. Don't think twice, it's alright. Thank you very much. Think of those song that I wrote. Certainly influenced by songwriters like Dylan and Tom Waits. I wrote this song. I was driving through the state up to Monterey. Found myself on an unmarked sort of like a service road for farms that were like just miles and miles of really flat farmland that I've never really seen before. And suddenly I was on this curving little hilly road and I rounded a corner and all of a sudden there was just yards and I don't know how long it went, just sunflowers lining this really beautiful California highway. I was deeply in love with a woman at the time, and so I wrote this song. This song is called Wildflower. 'cause she was 17. But the whiskey and the women and bottles of red wine. That was how I supposed to spend my time. You were pretty dressed and she flowed across the hey, hey, one more. It's just like out. She was swaying just like a wildflower. Wildflower. After 10 years when I can to act. He didn't get her and she knows how to stay alive. And I caught them just trying to survive. Like swing. One who could sleep and when I ran. It's all all the days I did. Like trampling her flowers out of the sun. Picking on earth petals one by one. Oh, oh, it's good. Wow. We are all each other, wildflowers bloom, rolling the same field, where it's silly life. But before they know what's I'll get on a place to live. Wildflower bloom, kill the fall of doom. Wildflower bloom. A couple more here for I don't want to take too much of your evening. Again, thank you very much for having me. You guys are fun. Get out, baby. Get out. Oh, boy. Oh, man, feeling love anyway. The time for you and everything. If not by down, but if gone by it's getting clearer. Rain's on and moving around the place. My look into mirror. I'm simply don't find it. Somewhere. Oh, yeah, I know there is a fire. It's gonna fire. Getting older. It's from the shoulder. The whole thing relax on you. And speaks the big. It'll be calling you up all right. You gotta stay hungry. Everything. I'm here to write this in glory. That's your little on apart. It's gonna fire. You can just dance. Dancing in the dark. Dancing in the dark. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Don't wash the cast iron skillet. Don't drink and drive, go spill it. Don't ask questions or you'll never get to see. There's a hole inside you, fill it. Shower and shake, put flowers on the grave, and ask the Lord to save his soul. Was it 27 times? Was it 29? I heard the lake off inside the dam. He took a while to die. How did he get so low? Seems like just a week ago we were 10, 12 years old. Oh. Shadowing from the inside, Christ's fall. Died through life without parole. Don't wash the cast iron spirit. Love last night, yeah, feel it. Don't walk where you can't see. Don't ask questions, just believe. Ain't bad, but when quiet eyes, dark skin, and daddy never spoke another word to her. Feeling like a quick stop, lying to count, laughing like your soul's without sin. How did you get so low? Seemed like just a week ago, she was standing on your shoulders, watching fireworks in the sky. Treats her like a queen. Oh, you can see. It's hard to go through life without your daddy by your side. Go to watch it past night, scared. Now won't get no better. It was simple as a weather vane. Her own family tried to kill it. Don't wash the cast iron skillet. Don't wash the cast iron skillet. Don't wash the cast iron. I was gonna, Cast Iron Skillet by Jason Isbell. My life. I got it. I'll leave you with one more here, guys. Thank you again for having me. It's really been a privilege. I appreciate it. This is, I think, it's a nice little goodbye song. This is "Keep Me in Your Heart," Warren Z. Shadows are falling and I'm running out of breath. Keep me in your heart for love. That's in your when you get up in the morning, see that rain is coming. Heart for a while, then the train like all the roads and done. In your heart for a while. How long keep in your heart for a while? How long keep your heart for a while? Sometimes when you're doing simple things around the house, maybe you'll think you can smile. No, I'm tired to you like the buttons on your mouth. Keep your heart for a while. Oh, God, take me to your dreams. Touch me like all is with you. When the wind comes, keep the lights to you. Engine drive, street, keep me in your heart for a while. Tell me what they're laying out to me.
me your heart for one. Keep me in your heart. Keep me in your heart for a while.
Uh, I just want to say, oh, these kind of, yes, I'm wearing some all my words right now. Forest, words, genre, that's this kind of performance, more than a performance, the opportunity to connect, a real connection that you had. I'm gonna say with us, I know sharing, those are stories, those are not just songs. And your ability to take those stories and to apply music, and where does music live? And we saw, and we heard, and we felt where music lives. And,
Thank you.
and that is part of the. Tomorrow we're here for breakfast, 8 o'clock. So we're not at the school, here at the church. Tim, is the sun up there? The sun is up there. Okay. Somewhere in the world, the sun's up. And then we will have programs in this facility as well as at the school. So both facilities will be open, but we will start tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Again, thanks to all of you who are with us in a virtual state. It's not virtual view, but it is the things that you hear. Obviously, you probably felt, I would imagine, what we felt here in the presence of great artist Cuomo. So that I would say, please have a safe and just wonderful night. And when those who you love, whether it's in their presence or the ability to speak with them or just remember them. Nice, good night. Good night.